Good afternoon. I just wanted to stop by and give you a brief word of encouragement. I was reading in Judges chapter 7 earlier where God was dwindling down Gideon's army. He started out with a lot of men and he ended up with only 300 men. And with 300 men, he actually had a mighty victory. But there was a dwindling down process. God had to identify those men who were battle ready and battle worthy from those who were not. So he did an interesting thing. He told Gideon to take the men down to the water and have them get a drink and to watch, because the ones who were battle ready and battle worthy were going to reveal themselves by the way that they drank water. So this is how it went. Some of the men, the ones that actually were battle worthy, did not, when they went to get the water, they actually cupped the water in one hand and lapped it with their tongue. Whereas the other men who were not considered battle worthy, they actually knelt down and put their face into the water and they drank that way. And I was like, wow, God. So what's the significance of that? Well, the ones who knelt down and put their face in the water, that meant that they had to put their shield down. That meant they had to put their sword down. That means that they made themselves completely vulnerable to the attacks of the enemy, and not only themselves, but everybody else around them. Whereas the men who lapped the water, they used one hand to lap the water, but with the other hand, they were able to still hold a sword or the shield in their hand and still be aware of their surroundings. Woo, that's a lesson for us, right? Because we don't want to surround ourselves with people who are not aware, who are not discerning of their surroundings, and leave themselves wide open to the attacks of the enemy. Because if they're wide open and you're connected to them, guess who else is wide open? You want men and women who are prayed up, who are stayed up, who are constantly dressed in their armor, who are constantly raising that sword and wearing that shield. Those are the men and women that you want to go into battle with you. So, the ones that love you where you are, but love you too much to leave you there. Those who are not going to tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Those who are going to encourage you back toward the Lord, whenever you fall or whenever you get discouraged. Those are your army buddies. Those are your war partners. And I pray that God will give you the discernment to determine who you should move forward with as far as your Gideon army. I know who mine are, and they are mighty and powerful, praying, interceding men and women of God. I pray this blesses somebody today. It's time to dwindle that army down, y'all. Have a blessed afternoon.